Hi, fellow traders. Well, looking at this picture, you probably already know what kind of day I had. Very, very frustrating. Uh, I just could not get anything going for me. And it wasn't that I made any mistakes, anything like that. I mean, we had a perfect setup, perfect execution. It's just that the market was not working with me today. And there was no other way to put it. But what happened you'll see what happened is the reason why I got so frustrated. Normally, it wouldn't even bother me, but what happened really frustrated me. So we'll take a look at that here in a minute. But I want to answer a question. I was gonna do it on the Rolling with Ed this weekend, but I need to illustrate it because I had a couple guys ask me, what's different about Average Joe Trading? What makes you so unique? And number one, we're a trading community, but more than a community, we're family. And I keep it small. I limit the amount of members that I have so I can answer every email personally. I could, I'm the only voice that you hear every day. One moderator, one teacher, one mentor, one voice. When you went to school, you took any class, whether you were learning economics, science, math, it doesn't matter. When you walked in the classroom, you didn't have three or four teachers, trying to teach the same thing. It will be a nightmare. It's already confusing if you're learning this for the first time. But to have three and four people coming at you with three different ways of looking at things and three different strategies for learning, it's going to be really, really confusing. So for me, I'm thinking, hey, you signed up to learn from me, what I do, how I execute, then that's who you need to listen to. That's who you need to see every day. So that's why I trade live. You get to watch me. You get to watch my trades execute in real time. You can match them up with whatever you want to match them up with. But it's happening real time right in front of your face. And I'm executing and trading the same strategies that I teach you. I'm trading small size the way I did when I was growing my account. So you get to see everything that I do, and I'm proving to you every day in real time that if you are consistent and you do the same things every day, yeah, you're going to have red days. Last month, I think I had 4 red days. I had 3 days I didn't trade at all. But I made a ton of money trading small size. The same size that you guys should be able to trade. So seeing it happen live every day I think is priceless. Just like every other chat room, we have live member chat. But one of the things, and the reason why I say we're a family, is you guys can PM each other. You can talk privately amongst yourself. Some people even have Discord groups that they kind of branched off into to kind of give each other support throughout the day. We're a family, and I don't care about, I trust everybody that comes in. Yeah, I've had to kick people out who are coming in trying to recruit. But if that happens, the members will let me know, and we handle it really quickly. So I want you guys to be able to talk to one another. And if you have specific questions, if you're in the same area, you guys want to hook up, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, this is how we grow. And also, my trade idea scanners are live all day. The reversal scanners, the RSI Extreme Scanner, higher day, those are the ones that we typically look at later on in the day. The surging up and the parabolic movers, those are typically in the morning when there's momentum. And that's for the guys that like to trade momentum. But that's the difference. That's pretty much what it is. I feel the chat room is an extension of the class, extension of your learning. And I think it's where the most effective learning takes place, is in the chat room. So that's my take on that. All right, so let's look at the SPY today. We did gap up. We opened to a little gap, and we sold off a little bit, but then we recovered, and we got as high as about 10 points above the close on Friday. So really strong day, but I just could not find any solid trends. There was one stock. It was on our watch list. It was my main watch out of the gate, and it didn't trade very well, and I kind of took my eyes off of it, and when I look back, it was kind of breaking out, but I was like, nah, this thing is just probably not going to do anything. And again, I assume that, and we can't do that. Every trade is unique. I don't care if the stock traded the same way for the last 3 earnings. This earnings is unique. It's different. And you need to expect different results. And I didn't. I just expected it to trade like it always traded, if it started out the way it did. And, we'll look at that chart here in a second. But, sorry I got sidetracked. But you can see a nice strong day. There's nothing to make us believe that we won't continue up. This is a pretty strong candle. We closed at the high. So, really close to the high today. So no reason to think this isn't a strong candle. But again, I'm not going to assume. I'm not going to guess. I'm going to come in the morning, look at what everything is doing, where everything is at, and then I'm going to make my assessment and my plan for the day. That's what we'll be doing at 8:30 in the morning. So the stock I was telling you about, JD. Okay, here's the JD. It was on earnings today, and I believe it was on. See, I'm so confused. I'm pretty sure this was on earnings, because it wouldn't have been on my watch list. But we had earnings, and it kind of gapped up a little bit, and it pulled back around the time we had the conference call, and then it started pushing up again at the open. And so, here we put in the first 5-minute candle. It's a red candle, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a short. There was a lot of support up under here. So I figured, worst case scenario, we're going to bounce off of this and maybe make a run up. So I kind of started looking at other stuff and was going to come back to this. And when I came back, I saw this. Big sell-off candle, a little indecision, big pop, big sell candle. And then we were around in here, and I'm like, man, this doesn't make any sense. And then we broke the opening range high. And I looked at it and I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. I don't think this stock is going to give us anything. We had a level here at 42. This isn't the chart that I had up, but we had a level at 42. And then the next one, we had a pretty nice window all the way up to 43.50ish. So it was a pretty decent opportunity, but I let a lot of this stuff get into my head and convince me that this trade isn't going to work, even though it's set up. And there was no way of me knowing or being able to tell whether this was going to work or not. So if I did make any mistakes today, this was a mistake in talking myself out of taking the setup. That's one thing that we have when we see the setup and it's something we're watching, we got to take it. If we don't, it kind of skews our results, and it takes away that consistency that we're looking for. But really nice trend on this today, and it was just one that we missed. It was on our watch. I just chose my old pal Roku here, and this is what got me frustrated on Roku. I get in, okay, I'm getting ready to go to lunch, so I get in, I tell you, show you guys, and I just left it up because I had a session and I was still going to be here, so I just left it running, and I put in my profit target, which was up here at 116.15, and it made it all the way up there, came within 1 cent of hitting my order, and then got slammed back down. And I was like, I didn't see it until after we were at this candle here. And I'm like, well, I shouldn't take it off. We got a ton of support there. This thing might bounce. At the end, we've got the 100 sitting right here. So this has been king. And we got down and we bounced, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for it to do. We got over the 20 and then sold back off, and then just never came. So once we lost this, it was apparent. It ended up stopping me out. And so I was like, okay, I can get over that. I can get over that. So here, I should have gotten in up here. I should have, instead of waited. But I was getting into this a little bit late. I worked off of this level here, and here was my target. You can't get any better than that. You cannot get any better than that. So I put it in at 11.50. 111.50. It got to 111.54 exactly and bounced. So if I had put it at 111.55, there was a good chance I would have gotten hit. And it was for the whole deal. It was for all 300 shares. And this is when I lost it. Okay, this is when I got frustrated, when I lost it. And I kind of came unglued. So, but you can see why. I executed perfectly. I missed this, so I worked off of this level. Perfectly acceptable under the low here. And really, in all intents and purposes, it did hit my target again. I should have put it 5 cents on the other side of it. And both times, I should have done that. After this, I definitely should have done it here. But I didn't. So that was that. So it's just one of those days where the market just didn't work for me. It just didn't work for me. I had a viable trade plan. If tomorrow came, if I saw this tomorrow, I would put in the same trade plan both times. Same targets. But unfortunately, today just wasn't the day. So we ended up 451.97 red. Not bad. We managed our risk. I could have let this thing really get out of hand, but I didn't. I was disciplined, and this is what we do. Now, I'm going to show you February because I did shortchange myself. Somebody pointed it out that I never did. I was missing a week in my addition. Ended up last month 72.40.53 with a 80% 80% my mind just went blank with a 80% win rate. So again, I'm not keeping up with this anymore past this month, but I just wanted to show the difference where I could make 45% win rate and still make decent money like I did in January. Just doing the same things when the market comes around. You have more trades that win than you lose. When the market's slow, your win rate may be cut in half, but if you manage your risk, you still make money. And look, 489, 494, 63, 215, 66. All of these are managed days. I was able to manage my loss. And so today, I started the month off with a red day, but I managed my risk. And there's no reason why I can't be green at the end of the week. No reason. So, just wanted to make that point. Just know, guys, if you started out the week red, don't worry about it. You don't have to stay red. You just continue to be consistent, execute, and you can do it. No doubt, you can do it. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for me today. We'll get back at this thing tomorrow. If you haven't checked out the new website, go check it out. It was about an 8-hour thrash on Saturday. And I spent a couple hours yesterday kind of fixing some grammatical errors that I had from rushing and stuff like that. But check it out. Let me know what you think. So you guys take it easy, and I will catch you in the morning.